welcome to Not So PG. I'm Brooke Blurt. My pronouns are she and her.
I'm Matty Mills. My pronouns are he and him.
Right at the top of this episode, we'd like to acknowledge the custodians of the land on which we record this podcast on.
And for me, that's the Gadigal People of the Eora Nation.
And for me, I'm still in Bulu, and that's Wajak Noongar, and I'm so excited to get into this episode.
Let's do it.
I have been learning a fucklun.
I've been learning fucklun.
Okay, can I just start this episode off by saying I have been learning so much off TikTok recently.
Like life hacks?
I know that's life hacks. I mean, life hacks. I've learned lots about ADHD. I've learned a lot about, comedy for one. Because I don't boast about being funny because I purely think that I'm just a sarcastic person and I'm not actually that funny. But then my friends always say, you're actually really funny. And then I'm like, okay, the fact that you have to announce that means that I'm not funny.
Well, I'm the type of person, I'm the opposite, and I say, I'm really funny. Hey, am I funny? Am I funny? Like hoping that people will say that I'm funny. But I feel like you do have great humour. And that's also such a hot trait in someone if they can have banter and actually hold a conversation and have a bit of humour in it as well. Yeah.
I actually love this.
Laugh. Whenever we're together, we're just laughing the whole time.
Well, I know, because you get my banter, I get yours, and it's just a fucking piss take. Now, I have this obsession and this, this little crush on this chick that I've seen on TikTok, and I even, to the point where I was like, wanted to send her my book.
Oh, wow.
I don't know her. I don't know. She's from Perth, actually, so that's also probably why I'm actually, I think she's so cool. Her name's Emily Grosser.
Okay.
And she's this Aussie larrikin kind of gal, and she's actually so funny with her humour. Like, I think she's going to go places, and I want to basically say that I saw her first.
Talent scout Brooke Blurton.
I know, right? Because I think every time I'm on my For You page, which goes to show how much my For You page is clearly very uninteresting in some ways, is that it's mostly her. I mean, she's not uninteresting in that. I mean, in that aspect. But what I'm seeing on my For You page is just the most absurd and unusual For You page you could ever imagine. It could range from hacks to Emily Grosser to makeup tutorials, then back to Emily Grosser, and then...
Oh my gosh, that is funny. Well, I don't have so much TikTok content, but I'm like, for what TikTok is for you, Instagram is for me. I think we'll get into my my For You page a little later. But what are like some of the hacks that you've learnt from TikTok?
Okay, so recently I've been following this detox coach, and she taught me what a parasite cleanse is, which is actually disgusting. So what you should do is, when you get a colonoscopy and people can see what comes out, and she was showing this image of what can actually grow inside of you, and it was like a tapeworm. And if you don't have a cleanse, you have no idea that this bacteria and this parasite is sitting in your stomach. So basically when you have these cravings of like sweet things like, junk food or sugary lollies and stuff like that, basically you're feeding this parasite. And I absolutely
You've got a pet worm
myself,
in your stomach.
quite literally. And that's where I went as well. I was like, this is absolutely so disgusting. But the thing is, where would you see this type of content? If it wasn't for TikTok, where am I Googling parasite cleanse?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely an eye-opener and an educational tool for some people. But I'm the type that YouTube's a woman giving birth to child or or on the flip side to that, alligator versus lion.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I've YouTubed both of those things for sure.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I wanted to see someone giving birth, and I also wanted to see what, in my head, a baby getting born into water. You know how they do, like, the water birth? I thought that it, like, would drown. And so I had to like YouTube it and be like, oh.
It's actually a really beautiful thing. I have actually Googled the thing. And the thing is, no one, I guess in high school, you don't really learn these things.
No, you just learn how to put a condom on a banana. That's sex ed 101.
Yeah, I mean, I feel very sad for the generation that is coming through as well, for the fact that they don't know what life is like without phones. And I definitely feel like I'm in the generation that did know that, and they were just kind of coming into myself. Like phones were becoming popular when I was in high school. But we didn't really have. Do you remember like MSN and LimeWire and Bebo and MySpace and all those sort of things? Well, we had those, and I feel like they allowed us to be really creative and actually like kind of like remember
express yourself as well.
Yeah, and I can't believe we judged our friends in you know how you would have like your top friends,
and also like, the song. Do you remember you'd like have a foyer song when people would click on your page, like a song would play? Mine was always like Chris Brown With You.
Mine was T.I. You can have whatever you like.
Yes, you can have. Oh, I love that song. Yeah.
But you know, and you'd have your other half, and so if you got taken out of your top friends, and your friends got top, you know, you switched to Rooney, you'd be like, oh my god, I've done something. Done something. And then you'd might play mind tricks on MSN, and you'd sign off and then sign back on again, or and you'd basically play your crush and all those sort of things. I actually loved that. I just loved that, living in that era. I was really lucky that I actually had access to that. At that time I had moved from country to the city, and so I was living with my stepmom, Leanne, who I talk about a lot, and how she basically supported me through the start of high school, and I had access to that. And I remember my dial-up system and making that noise, and that was just so fun. And now we have these phones and access to things like TikTok, which gives us and filters so much content to us that we're constantly learning and absorbing. But the thing that I find really hard and to also navigate and come to terms with is that we're not remembering a lot. Our brains can't store that much information so quickly. I'm sure there is something happening
detrimental
for all of us. Yeah. And I think our memories are clearly just not not dissolving, God.
No.
But they're not absorbing.
No, not dissolving, but I also
think...
with
the dial-up as well?
Yeah. No, I actually think that our communication skills are going down as well. Like, I remember when I first moved to my dad's after being in care, the only way that I could actually communicate with my mum was she would send us boys a card from jail. And she was so, like, every week we'd get another card, and she would be, like, on the inside when she was in prison, and she would just write these beautiful cards. And she was able to articulate her feelings, her emotions, her, her sensitivities so well through these cards. And getting that card was like a beautiful message and a form of communication. And then I felt like that was like a way of her being able to genuinely like actually put something down on paper and think about it before you wrote, because you can't just delete it. And now it's like, it's like once that's there, it's there. But now it's like everything's so instant. You can delete it. You don't have to think about it. You just send it. Instantaneous communication. And I think that it's like dumbed us down a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like, Jesus, like we were such a generation that we had to I grew up in the country as well, so I definitely feel like I had to use my imagination and I had to get creative. And I think young people just have such an addiction to phones and seeing so much content and social media, and there's also so much pressure. Working with young people, they're just so attached to their phones, and I just wonder, like, we will never ever go back to a time where that doesn't exist now. Like, the generations moving forward, they're just going to be attached. And I feel like for my kids, because I know what it's like to live without them, that I feel really excited that I'm actually going to try and install that with them. And it's easier said than done, and I know that. But I saw a 3-year-old on my walk the other day who had an iPad in front of them. I swear to God, this kid was only 3 years old and had an iPad in front of them. And I was like, I can't wait to have kids, for one, but also I feel like I'm just going to be such a protective mother and try to just let them be creative and you know, create some more like sensory and you know, being on country and being out in nature, and for them to use their imagination and get creative. Like, I just think we're missing that. I speak like as if I'm a bloody mother already, but
you see it all the time. You see little kids picking up phones and iPads. It's the easy way to shut them up. It's the easy way to distract them. It's the easy way to like have them occupied while you're a parent, or you know, you're trying to have a conversation with an adult. You hand them the phone. It happens. Like my nieces and nephews always got an iPad and phone in their hand, and I'm the type of person that's like, nah, I take it off them.
Oh, that also, yeah, exactly. I just feel like, I'm one like, let's go kick the footy, let's go do some stuff.
Yeah.
But that also, that kind of takes me to my next question as well to you, Matty, is what kind of legacy do you want to leave, you know, in this world?
Oh, that is a big question. And the thing that comes to mind is, and I wish we had the license and money to play this song, but it's I Was Here, Beyonce. That's all I want to play right now. As you say, what legacy do you want?
Again with him being Beyonce. I mean, you're one step closer.
One step closer. But my legacy, it's a big question. Like, I mean, what I want to do is I want to make sure that I know that I've created a positive impact for my people, and I want to one day be able to break the intergenerational cycle of poverty in my family. I never want my nieces or nephews to ever have to go through what I went through, or my kids go through what I went through. So I think my legacy is to change the trajectory of my family's life. Deep. I think that's it. Like I always think if I come into big money, or if I secure a really big gig and I get money, the first thing I'm going to do is like elevate my family. You know what I mean?
In that aspect, yeah.
Like, so that's always been number one. And just also like when people think of me, like at my funeral, they're like, he was a kind person. He was a nice guy. He was a kind person. Yeah.
Okay, so if I was to ask you on that sort of realm, would you rather be hated or forgotten?
Hated, 100%.
I mean, it'd be really hard for you to be hated.
But you know why? Because no matter how good you do in the world, you are still going to be hated by someone. And,
True.
And that's...
Not everyone's going to like you.
Not everyone's going to like you. But if you're forgotten, that means that you didn't exist. You know what? A bit of controversy, a bit of hate.
Bit of deep.
Bring it. Bring it.
Love it.
People already hate me. I don't care.
Haters gonna hate, potatoes gonna
Not
bake.
me. I don't think many people hate me, but like I reckon there's a few out there.
It's not like I push to be liked, but I actually wouldn't mind being forgotten.
What do you mean? Tell me about this.
Obviously, this is just a hypothetical. I mean, I would hate to be hated. Like, I know that people do hate me, but I don't know about them, so I don't really give a fuck. Like, you know what I mean? And if they do hate me, say it to my face. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I leave a legacy now, and my mum passed away, my nana passed away, and I would never let them be forgotten about, what they've instilled in me, but I would happily just disappear.
But you know what?
Is that sad? It's a bit sad.
But you know what? For hate to be real, love has to be real. So if people hate you, there has to be people who love you. There has to be.
True.
So
you're being optimistic, which is you as a personality. You're like, I'm looking on the opposite. Well,
sis, you chose forgotten. I chose hated. I don't know how optimistic that is. Okay, I've got one for you.
Oh, go on then.
What's the biggest lie you were told in your childhood?
You're going to piss yourself laughing. It's what a cowlick is. So my whole life, I got told that I have a cowlick, so here in my head.
That's a Cupid's bow.
No. So like...
No.
Oh, my God. No, I'll show you when I... But basically...
Isn't that like when they have... Like my mum has one. It's like...
I'll fucking show you. Hang on.
A cowlick is like the crown of your head, right?
See how my hair is literally going up?
Yep.
It's like got this little thing. And so my whole life I've had what you call a cowlick, and I've hated it because I can't have a front fringe or my hair just doesn't want to be styled a particular way. And I wasn't really aware of it until my nana was like, yeah, you were licked by a cow, and that's why it's called a cowlick.
Licked by...
And I was 22 when someone had said, oh, yeah, you have a cowlick. And I was like, yeah, it's because I was licked by a cow. And she was like... And this whole time, I thought a cowlick was because you were licked by a cow. And that's the way your hair was molded because of that. No, like, I'm not even kidding you. I physically thought that I had been taken to the bush because there was lots of cows in the bush and licked by a cow as a baby. And that's why my hair was like that. 22. I was until I found the truth. My whole life.
Oh, my gosh. That's hilarious.
How are you and your siblings similar?
Me and my siblings are quite similar in the sense that especially me and my brothers, we all have very, I don't know how to say this. It's like, I feel like my brothers and I have good hearts.
Oh,
so I feel like we got my dad's heart and my mum's strength. So like my brothers and I are very similar in our approach to life and people. We love to be good to people. And I think that like and especially my older brother, I'm so like inspired by his nature. And like, I want to be more like him.
Oh, that's so lovely. I was just going to say that my brothers and I are very passive aggressive.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, we're quite aggressive children. And so when we love very, very passionately. And then when we do things, we are very, very passionate.
Yeah.
And so all of us have played, sport because we've been able to like use that as an outlet, but we all very, very passive aggressive.
Well, speaking of growing up, what was your like least favorite age?
Oh, what's my least favorite age? I honestly think my least favorite age for two reasons is the year my mum and my nan died. So being like 11. And for that reason, obviously, that was like the hardest year of my life.
Yes.
But I think also 18. I think that's a really hard transition age from going from high school to being an adult and then leaving school and being like, okay, fuck, well, I'm on my own now. What do I do?
Yeah.
I think it's a very hard transitional age. And so I think young people need to know that, and we need to help reduce that pressure and not feel like young people need to leave school and know what they want to do for the rest of their lives.
Yes. It's too difficult having everything together. I really don't think I'm even halfway there. I'm 27 and I feel like there's so much more to learn. I feel like I'm just starting to actually know who I am, and I only started feeling that at 25. So it's like only for the last 2 years I've started to actually think, I know I sort of know who I am, but I'm on a journey. I'm on a journey.
I mean, I feel like the same, and I feel like, every day when you now, being such a working professional in some way, like I realize things, I'm like, oh shit, I'm actually an adult.
Yes.
And like when you have to do tax and you have to do all those things and you're like, fuck, this is like when you realize that you're an adult and you're like, oh yeah, I'm not that. Okay, right. Your house is on fire and you could only save three things.
Well, the things that I would save, the three things that I would save would be,
oh shit.
Ooh,
mine would be my dog, my vibrator, and my Balenciaga bag.
Yep. Okay. All right. I would save Cosmo and Paul.
I wouldn't even save Sam.
I would save Cosmo, Paul, and my nan's ashes. Yeah.
Your house is going to be ashes, Dal. Everything's going to be ashes.
Yes, but yes. I don't know. It'll be Cosmo, Paul, and my dignity. Have some clothes on. I don't know.
Oh, fuck. All right. If you had to give a 30-minute presentation right now with no prep, what topic would you talk about? Like, what would be the headline of the presentation?
It would be resilience, and it would be how to navigate the world as a young person and keep on getting up even when you're knocked down. And I would start it like this. Has anybody seen Resilience? Has anybody seen him? Oh, he's right here. And I would hold up a mirror like this.
Room.
He's here.
Yeah,
no, I don't know. But I think it'd be on resilience.
Yeah.
What about you?
For the sake of being the opposite of that, I mean, I give lots of presentations daily on things, but I think I would
daily. Just walking through the world at the airport, everyone come across. She walks around with a whiteboard and she's got a ruler pointing at it.
Actually, I did a TED Talk. Thank you very much. So I have.
You are a TED Talker.
Yes, I am a part of the TED Talk alumni. Just FYI.
Wow.
Enter TED Talk right.
Can I ask about that really quickly?
No, it's the most traumatizing thing I've ever done in my life. I mean, I've had a fucking fuckload of traumatizing things happen in my life, and you know, this walking in my stepdad dead was definitely one of them. Yep.
Wow.
And also freezing on stage.
Did you freeze at TED?
Yep. No. I froze at Miss NAIDOC and I fucking freaked and like literally crumbled and
was that when you were the
walked
tree?
Off stage. No, that's another story. Also, fuck me. Brooks, you know, that's what I would be doing a presentation on. Trauma.
Trauma, yes.
Brooks trauma. I mean, that could definitely be a brand. I'm copywriting it now. BT, Brooks trauma.
Okay, I've got a question for you.
Go.
What is the biggest lie you've ever told? I want to know.
Oh, I mean, there's a few white lies I've lied about.
Big lie. I want to know the biggest lie. Oh, the silence. It's intriguing.
I think I don't know if I should say. Okay. I think my biggest lie is that I was sexually attracted to the honey badger. I was not.
Oh my God, that is so good. That is gold. Wow.
This whole time I've lied. I mean, I thought he was hot, but was I sexually attracted to him?
No, I can't see it either. Like, nah. Do you want to know what I lied about once that was really bad?
Go on then.
I lied about having a stomach pain that took me to hospital and had me cut my appendix out.
You lied about getting your appendix out?
Yes, I lied. So I went to sick bay at school and then I ended up at home and then I didn't want to go to school because I was getting bullied. So Dad took me to the hospital and I kept on lying to all the doctors saying my stomach was really sore until the surgeon came and pushed on my stomach and then it was sore. It was like I tricked myself into it. And then he's like, you got to go and have emergency surgery. They took me in to have my appendix out. And when I got out of surgery after recovery, the surgeon came in and said, I'm so glad we rushed you in because your appendix was inflamed. And all I could think to myself was, no, it fucking wasn't. You're a liar. Because I didn't even have a sore stomach. So I have a scar, like an appendix scar, and I lied because I didn't want to go to school because I was getting bullied. And I had my appendix out.
I mean, I've lied that I was sick and done stupid shit.
Until they rushed you into hospital to cut you open? That's fucked.
Not to that. That's actually fucking crazy. And I can't believe you followed through with it, you demon.
I know. I know. Anyway, so that's that I've always thought to myself that was awful. Why did I do that?
A lot of people think, my other lies probably, a lot of people think that I'm bisexual, but I more identify with being pansexual. So if that's a lie, then I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know. I probably more identify with being pansexual, and
Yep.
now I've got to live with this label as bisexual Blurton. But that's okay. I don't.
The
mind
alliteration is
because-
nice.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't bother me. Okay, right. Do you think you are? Who do you think? The next question is: who do you think owes you the biggest apology?
There's two people. Oh, can I say it? Yeah, I will.
I mean, Captain Cook owes us a fucking apology, if I'm being honest.
Yes, Captain Cook. Okay, well, whoever made up the lie about my dad, I'd love to get to the bottom of that. Like, I really would, and I let it go years ago. But the more that I think about it, the more that I'm like, I want to know the fucking truth. Because the story is that one of my aunties called my mum, and my mum told us. And so, was it my mum who lied, or was it my auntie who lied to my mum? I don't know, but I want an apology from whoever that was. So if you're listening, fucking bring it. Where is it? Where's my apology?
That's a journey in itself.
I know, and I gave up searching for the answers when I became an adult, when I was like 18. And now I'm like, oh, do I want the answer? I sort of do.
Yeah. I mean, I could probably talk about a few of the people in my life that have done me wrong that I'm like, you know what, you fucking apologise. But I don't even seek that. I'm like, you know what, move on. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what, you've hit the nail on the head there, Brooke. I don't want an apology, I just want the truth.
You want the truth.
Yeah.
I think that there's an underlying aspect of that you just want the truth, and you're like, you know what, and I probably would assume that I have a little bit of sort of, you know, not a lot of closure with a lot of the things. I think even when you've experienced, like, I'm going to go deep for a second here, but when you've experienced sexual assault.
Yes. Yeah.
And you still, you know, I've raised some memory of that person or people, because it happened more than once, out of my life, and I never want to even acknowledge them or give them any time of my fucking day. But at the same time, I'm like, I could annihilate you in 2 seconds as well. I could fucking ruin your life.
Yeah.
Would I do that for an apology? Probably not, because I would just do it because I sort of wanted to seek justice. But
yeah,
I think I've had so much more closure within myself of, you know, that situation and that scenario that I've moved from it, and I've actually, you know, done some healing to move on. But, you know, I think also some awesome people that are doing the work that are bringing awareness to perpetrators and people that do that sort of fucking shit. And I think, you know, I'm happy to support them as well.
Yep.
Yeah,
100%.
that went deep really quickly, but
well, that's what we are, light and shade.
Exactly,
light and shade.
Light and shade, baby.
Do you believe in aliens? Kidding, but do you believe in aliens? Because did you see the tentacle that washed up?
I thought that was a whale penis.
I will just crawl back into my hole.
I thought that was a whale penis. I saw it on TikTok and I was like, this is very interesting. I don't know what this is but they're saying that it's some sort of mammal's body part, but they cannot confirm nor deny that it's a whale's penis.
Wow.
Yep.
It's a big schlong.
It was a slow news day, clearly.
Wow.
Actually, I do believe in aliens, actually.
You do?
I've read a lot of astrology and a lot of books, and I feel like there's an extraterrestrial. Is that what I'm trying to? Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
ET.
Extraterrestrial life.
Okay.
I think that there is something out there, and I think we just haven't reached it yet, and it will probably never make itself known.
What does it look like to you? What type of alien? I
mean, well, just go back into the other side of that. Look at fucking crocodiles. They're prehistoric shit as fuck.
Crocodiles. So the other side of aliens, crocodiles.
Sorry, I'm just being silly. No, but I'm just saying, like, look at those creatures, right? They're prehistoric as shit.
Yep.
Like, those things are created. And I truly believe that there is something out there, but we just haven't actually reached it.
Yeah.
And like I said, it won't make itself known. How I see it, I mean, I just see it as like sort of like shape-shifting forms. Like,
have you heard? Yeah.
I feel like it's not slimy green things as what we make it out to be. I feel like it's energy that can shift and change and, yeah, I don't know. I maybe probably smoked too much weed in my day.
Well, look, that's very highly likely. But the thing that I wanted to ask, have you ever heard of the lizard people, the reptilians?
No. Is this a TikTok thing?
No. So there are supposedly reptilians disguised as human beings that are operating within and around us. And they're people with powerful influence.
I mean, there is no... I don't think that probably doesn't exist. Is that weird to say? Like, I feel like that would... Definitely. I just feel like...
I don't mean like a blue-tongued lizard in the garden. I mean like a suited man as like he's a reptile with a human form.
Oh, okay. Now I'm understanding. I was just thinking that you thought like actual like reptiles that had like human intelligence. Like,
no.
I think on the opposite scale.
No. So people actually think that there are people out there that are reptiles that are walking around with human form.
And this is Matty, and he's got this club going on.
Where all the lizards dancing in the warehouse like this.
I just imagine it like a suit, a guy in a suit, but like a lizard head. I don't know why.
Yeah. My totem is a goanna. Hint, hint.
Oh, okay. So it's your club that you've started and you're trying to recruit me. Okay, got you.
Yeah.
No, babe. Don't want the membership. Sauce.
Come on, you little skunk.
I'm a fucking turtle. Okay?
I called you a skunk. It's a skink. A little lizard is a skink. I don't know why I called you a
get your
skunk.
facts right.
Yeah, okay.
Fucking hell. All right. Well, on that note, you lizard reptilian creature.
Freak.
So Matty is now recruiting, so you can get applications at www.wannabealizard.com.
Wanna be a lizard?
Lizzie the lizard. If you have loved this episode and want to listen to us more, you can find us on socials at It's Matty Mills and it's at Brooke.Blurton. And if you want to listen to our other episodes at Nova Podcast Official. Please, guys, if you want to show us some love, we'd love to hear your thoughts on what you think of the podcast. So find us, give us a review, and love us and subscribe more.
And love us, because I'm a slippery snake.
See you next week, guys.
Slippery snake.